Hello, and welcome to Childcare Stabilization Video Guide Series. In this video tutorial, we will be showing you how to complete the Childcare Stabilization Grant. As a reminder, you can find the Childcare Stabilization page by typing in OregonEarlyLearning.com. From there, you'll hover over COVID-19, and you will see the COVID-19 resources. You'll go over to Childcare Stabilization Grants, and this page will show up. As you scroll down, you will want to be sure that you have read the funding opportunity thoroughly. When you feel ready, you can click on the purple button, Apply Now, to get started. You may see this view when you when you click the apply button, or you may also see this view in which it shows other programs at Oregon Department of Education. If you receive this view, please scroll down where you'll find COVID-19 Childcare Stabilization Grant, and you will get to that same page as well. From here, you will click on the green apply button. This page establishes your application number, which is an important number for you to remember. And then you will click here for application form in order to begin the application. The first page that you land on is asking if the applicant needs language assistance. If you don't need help, you may skip this question and simply click the green next button. If you do need language assistance, select one of these choices. If you select Spanish only, you will have instructions of how to change the application to be in Spanish, and you may continue to complete it this way. Up here, it's English, and you'd be able to click on Spanish. If you need language assistance in these other languages, you would simply click, for example, Russian, and somebody will be in contact with you soon to help you complete that application. And you would click Save and Continue Editing and wait for you to hear from someone. You'd also want to be sure to include your phone number so that we can get in contact. If you have a language need that's other than one of these listed, you will enter in what language that is and the phone number, and we'll be in contact. In order to remove any radio buttons throughout this application that you accidentally or want to change, you can simply click the clear button. This first section is general applicant information. Important to note, applicants who own or operate more than one childcare must submit a separate application for each site location. So here you have the name of the childcare. You would ask, is your childcare licensed by ELD's Office of Childcare or Oregon Department of Human Services license exempt? If you're currently listed and approved ODH, license exempt, family childcare or center, you would click here and enter your ODHS provider number here. If you can find your ODHS provider number on the billing form, or you could also call the direct pay unit or email them to get that provider number. You would continue to go through and complete this application. If you're currently licensed by OCC, you would, in this box, provide your license number, starting with the RF followed by the 6 additional digits. For these purposes, I'm going to be entering a test number as we move through this application. If you're uncertain of your license number, you can look it up on the Office of Child Care Safety portal or call the 1-800 number listed above. In here, you're going to want to enter your childcare site information. We will enter Joe Smith Hester. The street address, excuse me. We will put 1, 2, 3. We will add ELD's address. We'll put Salem for just these purposes. Oregon 97301 as a zip. Enter an email address. I'll go ahead and put in my state email address and enter in my desk phone for these purposes. Then you're going to be asked a question. Will the applicant be the grant manager, the person responsible for this grant? If no, click on the No Radio button and enter the first and last name and contact information for the grant manager. If yes, click on the Yes button and move on to the next question. If the mailing address for this childcare site, the same as the address above. If it's different, you'll click on this radio button and add in the mailing address and click Next. If the mailing address is the same, simply click that button and click the Next to go to the next section. Section 2 is childcare information. The purpose of this section is for you to tell ELD about your childcare, including whether you currently receive public funds and what services you provide. What is the current state of your childcare? If you're opened, you will click that radio button. If you're temporarily closed, less than 30 calendar days, you will click here, enter the reason for your temporary closure, and here provide the date and when you plan to reopen. And that date must be within 30 days of receiving a grant. The next question is your childcare receiving any funding from any of the following sources? Select all that apply. Early Head Start, Oregon Pre-Kindergarten, and Relief Nursery programs, if those are marked, will receive this message. You are not eligible for a grant. Because of this funding is intended to help the childcare sector, not publicly funded programs. If you are not one of those programs, you will click none of the above and proceed down. Do you provide full or part-time care? Full-time care, more than 30 hours per week, or part-time care up to 30 hours per week. If you click part-time care, you'll receive this message informing you childcares who provide part-time care are eligible for 75% of the estimated total grant amount. Once you've answered the questions on this page, you will click Next to move to the next section. Section 3 is childcare information services. Bonus amounts are available to childcares that provide certain services. You may qualify for more than one bonus. So you will answer these questions. Do you serve infants and toddlers? I'm going to say no. Do you serve families receiving childcare subsidy? Yes. Do you offer extended hour or weekend childcare? I'm going to answer no, but you will answer these according to your programs. Do you provide culturally responsive care? And we have a definition here, the practice of caring for children from culturally diverse families in ways that are consistent with their home practices and values. I'm going to click yes to that and move on and click the green next button to move to the next section. This section 4 is childcare information on the budget. The purpose of this section is for you to tell ELD how funding will be used if you receive a grant. Grant funds may only be used for the expense categories shown below. This is an estimate. If you receive a grant, you can move funds between categories without ELD's approval. Check the box for each category of allowable expenses you plan to use. You can check more than one box. For this demonstration, I'm going to click personnel costs, rent, lease, mortgage, and purchasing or updates to equipment and supplies. The following information is the estimated award amounts based on type of care, and the maximums are what including all the bonuses. When you scroll down, the final two questions in this section are: grant funds may be used for allowable expenses going back to January 31, 2020. Do you plan to use this funding for past expenditures? You'll answer that yes or no. I'm going to mark yes. Grant funds that are not used for allowable expenses must be returned to ELD. If the estimated grant amount shown above exceeds your allowable expenses, you may opt to receive a reduced amount. Do you want to receive a reduced grant? I'm going to put yes. If you put yes, you will enter the amount of the reduced grant funds you wish to receive in this box. So I will say I want to receive $5,000. I'll click the next button. Section 5 is for reporting information only. This section contains questions required for federal reporting purposes. This section is for information only and does not determine your eligibility for a grant or any grant amount. So you will enter in here your child care owner, the race, center director race. So I'm going to put I am white. And for multiracial individuals may select more than one checkbox. And I'm going to also indicate that I am American Indian. I will put in you'll put in your ethnicity. I'm going to put in not Hispanic or Latino. You'll then be asked for your gender, and I'm going to put in non-binary. The next section asks for your child care enrollment, and this is how many children are currently enrolled in your child care. Important, if you own more than one site, only enter the enrollment for this one site that you're applying for. Also, please be sure to select 0 if you don't have enrolled children in a particular category. So for infants, I'm going to say that I have 4. Toddlers, I have 3. And preschoolers, I have 20. And I don't care for school age kids, so I'm going to hit the green next button. Oops, there's an error, so I need to go through and check my answers and correct them before I can continue. So what I missed is I did not select 0 because I don't care for school age children. So I will go up and correct that by selecting 0 and then hitting the green next button. This section 6 is certification. You will be asked to check this box and certify that all of the above information is true and correct to the best of my knowledge or belief. So you will need to click that you are acknowledging that this is accurate and true information. You will also be asked to certify that you meet the requirements described in the funding opportunity throughout the duration of the grant, including the following requirements. So you will read each one, and by clicking this box, you certify that you will meet the grant requirements. If you need to think about something, go back and research, look up something in regards to this grant, you can always save and continue editing it for a later date. Or if you feel that you are good with it, you'll be able to select this green button and mark as complete. When you mark an application as complete, you will receive this sign of submitted and be able to review the answers on this grant application. You are not able to go back and change any answers once you've submitted this application. But if you have changes, you may email the grants team at eccgrants@state.or.us. I hope you found this video tutorial helpful. Thank you for watching.